girl recently became a feminist who some women look up to, and many women choose not to, due to how she expresses herself. She began to fight back, defending herself and women around the world against people who are victims of slut shaming. In a video she made expressing the importance of women's bodies and how women all over should not be ashamed of their bodies, a man comes along and gives her the key to the city for having confidence in the choices you make and the ability to celebrate your body. She's changing the idea of feminism into something where women should be okay with their own sexuality. Many people do not agree. But why is it okay for men to embrace their sexuality and the second women do it, they're harassed? Throughout history, women have had to keep their sexuality secret. Do you want to live in a world where those who bear children are ashamed to talk about sex because they'll be seen as sluts? Sex is real, and talking about it and embracing it does not make women any less than. Women have come a long way in the feminist movement, and speaking of sexuality does not take us back to the past, but continues to move us as Americans forward. To completely understand feminism as a whole, one must know the waves of feminism. The first wave of feminism is when we fought to be seen as people and having the right to vote. The second wave was in the 1950s, when women began to start wanting more rights and be equal as men. The third wave, which we are presently involved in, is known as the rebellious wave. This is when women began to fight more for social causes such as their sexuality. They are no longer seeing things in the same perspective as their mothers or women before them. In each wave, women had always challenged society's repression over them, which brings us to now. Talking about sexuality now does not bring us back to the first wave. We're instead thriving towards a greater goal, which essentially is equality. Expressing our sexuality only helps us to reach that goal. In the 60s, women came together to protest for their freedom of sexuality. It was a generation of women who weren't afraid to speak up and allow men and other women all over the world to know it was time to stop hiding in the shadows of men and begin to walk along with them and embracing their sexuality. To this day, women are still fighting for the right to embrace themselves. You all may be sitting here believing female sexuality is sex, and embracing it will ruin the feminist movement, because that's what they believed in the past. But there has been significant shifts in social attitudes and behaviors surrounding sexuality. Throughout the years, the idea of women showing their sexuality has been more open, but there is still more to go. The true expression of power is having control over every aspect of your body, and not allowing women to do so is taking away the control women have. So no, the right and ability to embrace what is yours is not harming anyone. There is no one feminist who can take the feminist movement and ruin it. The idea and belief in feminism will only continue to move forward, and embracing our sexuality is only helping women as a whole. Sexuality is much more than sex. It is being comfortable in the skin you were born in. By others taking that away, they are then taking away the freedom women have over their bodies. It is harmful for society to continue to restrain women from expressing themselves, while still allowing men to do so. We, as women, cannot continue to allow these social norms to happen. We must fight back to defend our sexuality, because it is not something others have control over, but instead we control. Being able to defend what is ours is not preventing our movement from going, but making the movement grow. Women must stand together and not apart so we can embrace our identity. If we're serious about fighting for progressive causes, we need to join together and be willing to show who we are and not worry if that will make us digress. My fellow classmates, and most importantly my fellow women, I leave you with this. If you're not afraid to show the world who you are, do not be afraid to embrace your sexuality. It is not harmful to anyone. It's valuable. Thank you all for your time.